Happy 2017, you guys. There are 3 things that I would love to tell you about that have happened so far in this new year. To summarize, the first thing is that I got a new job. The second thing is that my name is in the credits of an actual film that was released in theaters all across the country. And the third thing is that I went to the People's Choice Awards. Okay, so the first thing, if you have watched any of my previous YouTube videos, or if you follow me on Twitter, if you know anything about me, then you might know that I am currently, still have one weekend to work at a pizza shop. But this past week, I also got hired at a movie theater. So I will be quitting the pizza shop after I work my shifts this weekend, and I will be working as an usher / ticket taker / porter / person who works at the concession stand at a movie theater, which is really exciting because even though it's still just like a normal part-time job, it's still related to like the career that I want to be involved in, and I get to watch free movies, so it's actually pretty awesome. Second thing, you may have seen the promos, or you might have even already gone to see the movie, The Bye Bye Man. It is a new horror film that is out in theaters now. It came out on Friday the 13th, actually, of this January, so it's still out in theaters and it'll probably be out for a couple more weeks. But you should know that the movie filmed partially in Cleveland, Ohio. So before I moved out here to Los Angeles, California, I actually worked as a stand-in for Carrie-Anne Moss. It was only 2 days for me, like I only worked for 2 days, but I did not know that my name was going to be in the actual credits of the movie. Like, the only way that I found out is because I have a friend who was also a stand-in who had another friend that went to an advanced screening that showed in Cleveland, where she took a picture, she or he, I'm not sure, took a picture of the credits so that my friend's name could be seen, but a couple above my friend's name is my name. And I just saw this scrolling on Facebook, so when I saw this, I like freaked out, and I was running around my living room, and I was screaming, and I was sweating, and I reposted it on Facebook and all of this stuff, so I'll show you guys the screenshot right here. But yeah, my name is in the credits of this movie, and my name is linked to the IMDb page for this movie. Like, I have my own Internet Movie Database page, and it's got some things that are like legit. Like, there's a couple of things that I've worked on with my friends and short films for school, and there's some extra work listed on there as well, such as the Avengers and Captain America 2. But now there's an actual crew credit that I worked as a stand-in on an actual film with like an actual budget. Like, it's super crazy. Like, it's a really small thing. Like, I'm not actually in the movie. I only worked behind the scenes, but working behind the scenes is like a big deal. Like, it was so cool, you guys. So that happened. My name's in the credits of the movie. It's really exciting. I'll link the IMDb pages below in case you want to take a look at it, because, you know, it's actually really cool, so I'm really excited. And the third thing, I got to go to the People's Choice Awards, you guys, and it was actually really awesome. I'm gonna show you a picture of where I was at the People's Choice Awards, because I wasn't actually in the audience, I was on the stage. If you watched the show, you know that there are 2 kind of like balconies that they had audience members in. I was in the one on your right, so if you're looking at the screen, it was the one on the right. And here's a picture of that to show you for reference. So I was standing on the stage for the entirety of the People's Choice Awards, and in case you were curious, I got this opportunity through a company called Gotham Casting. I will link their website and social media below in case you're in the area and you want to take a look at it. But yeah, we had to get to the Microsoft Theater super duper early. Like, we were supposed to be there at 2 and the show didn't start till 6, so that was kind of frustrating to have to be there that early, but I tried not to complain that much because it was a really incredible opportunity. So around 4 o'clock is when we actually got to go inside the theater. You know, we waited outside before that, and then we got placed on our spots on the stage. And in order to like get our spots on the stage, we had to attend the dress rehearsal the day before. And when we came for that, it was actually really cool because we saw the empty theater and all of the giant placeholder cards that showed where the different celebrities were sitting. So of course, I took note of where Robert Downey Jr. was going to be sitting, and that was going to be in the front row on the left side of the audience next to Sarah Jessica Parker. So of course I was excited when I realized that I would have a direct line of sight to this man for the entirety of the show. We'll get to that later. I'm gonna try and explain like what was behind me on the stage, because you can tell from the picture that in front of me there is a wall, and behind me there was some extra space, and then even further behind was actual backstage. So like I could be standing here looking out at the stage, looking out at the crowd, but if I simply rotated and turned my head, I was able to see down in the backstage where all of the press were at, who were taking the pictures of the celebrities after they received their awards or when they left the stage from presenting. Before the show even started, Bill Paxton actually came up to us and like talked to us. He was like, oh, you guys have the best seats in the house, and then he asked us what our favorite TV show was, and then he told us to watch his show, Training Day. So that was really cool, and it kind of like gave me this hope that maybe some other celebrities might come up and talk to us like that. And then the director of the People's Choice Awards actually came up to us and he kind of gave us some pointers. He was like, you know, you guys are going to be on camera for a majority of the time. You're right on stage. Everybody's going to be able to see you, so make sure you have high energy and everything like that. And he also gave us permission to kind of like talk to and shake hands and high-five the celebrities that walked past us if they were like willing to do that. And he made a joke about if you think they're attractive, you know, throw up your leg if you want to. I don't know, it was funny. But in that moment I was like, okay, I have permission to approach Robert Downey Jr. in a appropriate way. In an appropriate way, I am able to approach Robert Downey Jr. So I had a watch on this night because we were not allowed to bring our phones in. We were not allowed to bring our phones in, so we couldn't take pictures, we couldn't like tweet about it, we couldn't post about it, there was nothing on Snapchat. But I did have a note that I wrote to Robert Downey Jr. Basically, it was my missed connections timeline on paper. So it was everything I said in that video, but written down so that I could give it to him. And I had folded it up and slipped it under the wristband of my watch to have handy in case he were to walk by me and I could slip it to him as he walked past. So we're more than halfway through the show and Robert Downey Jr. still isn't sitting in his seat, which, you know, isn't that weird because celebrities don't always stay for the whole show. They might come just for their part, they might come for the first half, they might come for the back half, you know, they might only come for a few seconds, and that's what seat fillers are for. So when the celebrities aren't there, you know, random people will be placed in their seat so that the seat's not empty. And Robert Downey Jr.'s seat had a seat filler in it for like a really long time, but I was still fine because I knew he'd show up eventually. He was scheduled to present, so I knew that I would see him, so I wasn't that concerned. However, then we got to the category that Robert Downey Jr. was nominated in, and he won. And I'm going to put a clip next here where you can actually see me on the stage losing my mind when Robert Downey Jr. comes to accept this award. The actual People's Choice Awards show didn't show a camera angle that included both of us in the shot. They did so for other certain stars. Like if you watch the People's Choice Awards, you can see me and Blake Lively at the same time, which is kind of cool, but that didn't happen with Robert. But an audience member who did have his cell phone was kind enough to forward me this video that he took from the audience. So as you watch it, you'll be able to see Ashley Greene is on stage, and kind of like up to the right of her is this balcony where I was standing, and I'm like the third person from the left. And when she says Robert Downey Jr., I immediately jump up, and then the camera kind of shifts angles and moves a little bit, so I go out of frame, but then it focuses back on Robert on stage, and I'm still bouncing up and down. It's pretty funny.
And your choice for favorite action movie actor is Robert Downey.
And then also during his speech, he dedicates the award to a family in Ohio, and you can literally hear me scream. Like, Robert Downey Jr. live streamed it, and it was on the actual show. You can verbally hear my scream, and I will show you that right now.
Tonight I want to dedicate this award to the Johnsons in the great state of Ohio. Rock strong.
So yeah, that's literally my voice screaming because he said Ohio, and Ohio is where I'm from, and it was really awesome. So he accepts his award and he walks off stage, and I'm able to see him back here taking pictures with his award and being interviewed by the press, but I didn't approach him because he went to the far side of the place. Basically he wasn't anywhere near me, but I could still see him really well, so I wasn't gonna go up to him in the middle of all of these photographs being taken and be like, here, take my note, because I wasn't concerned at that point because he was still supposed to present. And Adam Rodriguez from Criminal Minds had presented a while back, and he came out from right where I was standing. I was able to say hi to him, and so I was hoping that's what Robert Downey Jr. would do. So I didn't bother him after getting his award, and I just kind of stayed patient for when he was supposed to present. But he never did. I don't know what happened. I don't know if he was late. I don't know, because he wasn't even sitting in the right seat. You know how I had said he wasn't even there? Well, he never even went to that seat. When he accepted his award, he came from a completely different side of the auditorium in a different seat, so I was confused and thrown off, but I was still excited, so I was screaming, it's whatever. But I don't know what happened. I don't know what happens behind the scenes. He could have been late, so he wasn't able to get to the seat he was supposed to sit in. Maybe he just plopped himself down wherever he felt like it. I honestly don't know what happened. But I do know that he didn't present. And maybe they had someone present instead of him, or maybe they were running out of time, so he wasn't able to present. I don't know. But here's how I know. Here is when I realized that he wasn't going to present. So it's getting close to 8 o'clock. And Johnny Depp accepts his award. And he comes on stage and he makes his speech, and then he exits the stage, and he exits through the side that I am able to basically get to him. So Johnny Depp comes around and he actually shakes everybody's hand who is on this balcony. A lot of the celebrities and the stars, when they exited the stage, they would look at us and they'd wave, or they'd smile, or they'd give a high five to the closest person. They would acknowledge us, but Johnny Depp was the only person to literally come back and shake all of our hands. So I was able to shake Johnny Depp's hand, and he said, "It was nice to see you, sweetheart." And he shook my hand, and it was really cool, and it was great and all that. But while we're all shaking hands with Johnny Depp, all of a sudden confetti goes off, and we all whip around, and we're like, what the heck? And I'm like, wait a second, is the show over? What's going on? Robert Downey Jr. didn't present. What's happening? I'm confused. And so we realized that in the midst of us trying to talk to Johnny Depp, we didn't realize that Joel McHale, the host, was closing out the show. He said a very brief closing statement, and that was the end. And so I stood there, I had just shook Johnny Depp's hand, and the confetti went off, and I was like, he didn't present. But Robert was supposed to present. I was supposed to give him this note. Where did he go? Oh my gosh. So I had a lot of mixed emotions, and that's something that I experience a lot when I go to these things. I'm super excited that I'm there. It's crazy awesome to shake hands with all these people, say hi to people, make eye contact with Justin Timberlake, wave to Ellen DeGeneres, all this stuff is really cool. But I literally only have one mission, and that mission is to meet Robert Downey Jr., and it always escapes me, and I feel like the universe is truly against me. There was plenty of opportunity for me to give him this note. There should have been opportunity. I was able to say hi to Adam Rodriguez. I was able to talk to Bill Paxton. So why wasn't I able to freaking pass this note to Robert Downey Jr.? Why didn't he present? Why didn't he sit where he was supposed to be sitting? Why didn't he come up and talk to us? Basically, my attendance at the People's Choice Awards was yet again another missed connection. However, you can see that with every missed connection I make, I get closer and closer. I was literally on stage with Robert, and I could see Robert, and I was on TV with Robert, but I just want to meet Robert Downey Jr., But yes, it was very awesome to be at the People's Choice Awards. It was definitely an experience I appreciated and am thankful for. It was so cool to even just see all of these celebrities. I was watching them the whole time. They could potentially have been watching me the whole time. I was in their line of sight. Everybody in the audience could see me if they directed their eyes in the right direction. So seeing J-Lo in the front row. I saw Ellen, Justin Timberlake, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Kevin Hart, the cast of Fuller House, the cast of The Big Bang Theory. All these celebrities were just scattered in front of me, and it was so cool to watch. Freaking John Stamos walking by, looking super attractive, you know, it was a fun time. And I'm looking forward to the day that I can go to an awards show, not simply because I earned a ticket through like a casting agency or I won tickets through like One Iota or anything like that. I am looking forward to the day that I am invited as an attendee because of who I am and the work I've done. Thanks for watching, you guys. I'm really appreciative to anybody and everybody who watches these videos or follows my story or, you know, supports me on this journey. You know, I have a lot of weird updates sometimes about little things that have happened and shows that I've been on and stuff like that, but for somebody who's trying to like pursue a career in this industry, you know, these baby steps are really important to me. So thank you for watching, genuinely, from the bottom of my heart. Even if I don't know you, even if you don't know me, like, I like hearing the story of people's success, and thank you for wanting to hear mine. Thank you. Bye!